Thank you, and it's a great pleasure to meet all of you. Yeah, so salam alaikum and good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Ahmed, and a very common name in this part of the world. Ahmed is everywhere. I'm here in this country for the last 17 years, and I'm working between the government and consultancy, from Abu Dhabi to Dubai to federal government. And for the last 3 years, I'm serving as a Director of Strategy and Future in Sharjah Private Education Authority. I'm also an educator, so I'm teaching a couple of topics in our universities here, the local and the government universities, teaching data analytics and business analytics, and also some topics between entrepreneurship and design thinking as well. I have a non-linear career in my life. So I started as a communication engineer, and then I diverted to business, and then I have my PhD from University of Technology in Malaysia. And I'm a person full of mistakes and rebel in general, rebel as a student or even rebel as an educator as well. But the only one of the good habits I'm doing is reading. And I was introduced this summer during May and June to a very nice book. I advise all of you to get it. It's The Effect by Muhammad Faris. And this book, it's a completely business and corporate-oriented. However, the writer was explaining a little bit more about the carpenter mindset versus gardener mindset. And he was saying that the carpenter is usually looking to stereotype or standardize things into one shape, while the gardener is working hard, blindly, without thinking about the results, sharpening his process and focusing on making things better for the future. And I was very, very inspired by the model itself. And I was thinking about education. Can we think about education as a garden? Can you think about teacher as gardener as well? And during the book, I was also trying to think how to reflect in most of what's written as a gardener mindset into also gardener mindset in education. And I was thinking a lot about if education is a garden, and if you have the rule to be a gardener, what do you think your best role will be within the garden? And here think about the water, the sun, the soil, the air, the insects, a lot of dimension or a lot of players within the garden that really impact the plants and the garden. And now I would like you to take your phone and scan this QR code and try to describe your role in the garden. What do you think about your role? It might be, as I mentioned, the sun, the air, the soil, the water. Just scan and write what do you think about your role in education. I'll give you a minute so you can think about it, and then I can move forward. You will not see the results here. I can see it in my computer. I couldn't link both of them together. But please scan the QR code and write your role, what your role will be in a garden. Usually, if you are the sun, probably you are the one inspiring others, giving them the heat and the right environment to grow. If you are probably the soil, you are the main enabler, you are the roots of the students. If you are the air, probably you are the one coming with a change, which might change how plants look like. Okay. This is one of the first lessons we can learn from the gardener mindset, that every plant has their own requirement in order to grow. And this might be consistency in learning, this might be a lot of alone time, this might be love and care, which is very similar to the concept in our schools, where students, they have different requirements, and you as educator, you need to embrace different needs within education. The second lesson, that each plant follows a unique growth pattern. And this is very true. Some of them are very flowery with some fruits or vegetables, which might look very nice, look very shining in front of others. Some of them are very rooted to values and rooted to morals. Some of them might be in between both of them, which is again reflecting how our students are different in general between one to another. The Gardner mindset in education can be summarized into 7 points. And the first point, that we really need to think about the purpose of education. And this is very important. What is the purpose of education? And believe me, if you ask teacher, if you ask principal, if you ask parent, you will definitely find different purpose. That's why thinking about the purpose of education is number one, and this alignment is also very important, aligning the purpose of education and the intention between the different players in education. Number 3 is to understand the students' seasons of life. They are very similar to fruits and vegetables. So orange is coming in winter, while mango is coming in summer. So you need to understand when to do what with the students, which is again reflecting the different needs, the different requirements for our students. Flexibility, personalization, responsiveness is what we can learn from the Gardner mindset. Number 4, sharpen your process, which is very important. Don't think about the future. Don't think what will happen tomorrow. You have a process now as a teacher. You have a process as an educator. Sharpen your process. Make it sharp enough, very similar to the gardener. He is waking up at morning, putting the water, taking care of the soil, and just sharpening his process. Accordingly, we need also to detach yourself from the results. Don't think about the results, A star, B, C, whatever results will be. This is not your job. This is the God job. This is a future job. Sharpen your process and detach yourself from the results. Seek barakah, bless, positivity, where we really need to think beyond just a classroom. We need really to think a lot about the relationship, the trust, and how we can maintain a good relation with our students. Number 7, plant for the long term. It's very easy in a garden to bring 10 kilo of fertilizers and chemical stuff and come up with the biggest strawberry in the world. It's very easy to do it. However, is it sustainable? Do you think your soil will be valid for the future? And again, this is applied for the AI and technology. Try to plant for the long term. Try to think about the future and how this can serve for the future of our students. In Sharjah, we are a very young organization, 6 years old, from 2018 till now. However, we are very proud of our results. We started 2018 with just 8% of our schools are good and above. So you can imagine that 92% of our schools were acceptable and below. As of now, we are 70% of our schools good and above, just in 6 years. 15% of our students were receiving good and above education. As of now, we have 61% of our students receiving good and above education. The Arabic, it was 4%, our index for assessment. As of now, it's 59%. When you think as well about the training and development of teachers, we were talking about 15% trained and qualified teachers. As of now, 70% trained and qualified teachers. 25% increase in investment in just 6 years. And we have a lot of nice lagging indicators showing the index of well-being, index of trust, in addition to the customer satisfaction. The future, and I'm Director of Strategy and Future, so I'm thinking about the future of Sharjah in 2030. And we have 4 main priorities that might end my presentation here. Priority number 1 is well-being. We are the only emirate and city in the world working 4 days work week. So we have a 3 days weekend, and we are very much focusing into how to utilize the 3 days weekend for the extracurricular activities, for the well-being of teachers, students, and parents as well. And I was very happy to see this a couple of weeks back, one of the results from the OECD showing how extracurricular activities is really correlated to the higher social and the emotional skills, which is again confirming the direction of focusing on well-being. Priority number 2, trust and quality of education. We are not just measuring quality, we are measuring trust, how much trust we have in our community. And this is definitely coming into measurement. So we are the Emirate which is measuring what we value, not value what we measure, which is a very big difference between both of them. I love enjoying speaking about skills, and I saw a lot of discussion about skills. That's why in our new strategy, we will launch the portrait of graduate, how we would like to see our students in the future. And again, we are very much focusing into durable skills, but not just the general words. We design it in Sharjah. We are addressing the needs of students in Sharjah other than just talking about future skills in general. Priority number 3, which is the innovation and continuous learning, where we have a lot of partnerships between Sharjah and University of Exeter in UK, Helsinki University in Finland, Carnegie Foundation in US, the IB organization. We cannot do everything alone as a government. We have to work with other partners as well. Continuous improvement in our core. We have a continuous improvement department. Imagine the government is hiring advisor to support schools. This is what we do in Sharjah. Lastly, and last priority we have in the strategy, which is the competitiveness of the Emirate, where we are very much focusing into early education, higher education, center of excellence for education in the world, and we have a lot of grants from His Highness, which is really supporting schools, and this is private school, for-profit schools. I know time is up, but I was very enjoying talking to you, and hopefully you learned something new today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmed, for such a thoughtful transition.